Serology testing, there's also a new trial on the effectiveness of hydroxychloroquine as a prophylactic for healthcare workers. In light of all this, could we be nearing a turning point in our fight against the virus? Well, for answers, let's bring in the Ingram Angle's medicine cabinet, Dr. Stephen Smith, founder of the Smith Center for Infectious Diseases and Urban Health, and Dr. Ramin Osqui, cardiologist, CEO of Foxhall Cardiology. Dr. Osqui, let's start with you. I've heard from doctors and other healthcare workers that they're already, as prophylactic measures, taking hydroxy as a way to prevent from getting the virus. Is that happening, and is that wise?
I think it's happening, but I think physicians, just like the patients that are prescribed this, need to be carefully monitored. One basic thing is to check a baseline electrocardiogram and then check another one every day or every few days to make sure that EKG changes that could lead to sudden cardiac death don't occur. So those are the basic methods that we use to monitor this. But no doubt, many physicians, as early to mid March, acquired hydroxychloroquine, and many of them in the trenches are using it in a prophylactic way on a daily basis.
Yeah, Dr. Smith, you have new fascinating data tonight on your COVID-19 patients. Now, you have 72 of them. 21 were pre-diabetic. That's 29.2%. 34 were diabetic. That's 47.2%. And the average BMI of severely ill patients, that's body mass index, is 30.7%. Tell us more.
That's a score of 30.7. And above 30, above 25, you're overweight. Above 30, you're obese. The more we see this disease, the more we understand that severe rapid COVID disease, especially, is in diabetics or pre-diabetics. We have, I'm looking at 19 or 20 patients that are intubated, and 18 of the 20 were intubated, or diabetic rather, and 2 are pre-diabetic. We don't have anybody that's been intubated in our group of over 80 now that was not diabetic or pre-diabetic that was intubated. They had severe disease. We've seen younger patients with severe disease that have a very high BMI. We have patients that are 150 kilograms, so I'm doing the math quickly, that's over 300 pounds. We're seeing a lot of this. And I don't understand, yeah, and just now I think the world's catching up to this. The Seattle group published on their data in the New England Journal of Medicine, saying that 58% of their ICU COVID patients were diabetic, and that their average BMI was 33, which is, morbidly obese. So that fits with our data, but what people haven't focused on yet is that the pre-diabetics are also at risk, especially if they have a high BMI. We haven't had anyone under 70 who didn't have a very high BMI or was pre or diabetic get seriously ill. This is amazing stuff, and it's unprecedented.
Yeah.
So this means, Dr. Osqui, because you treat heart patients who oftentimes have other issues of high body mass index, also diabetes. These are potential comorbidities in this disease, but are risk factors for this disease. I don't know what the right terminology is, really quickly.
I think risk factors for poor outcome. I suspect Steve's data has probably shown that those with mild to moderate COVID infection and respiratory problems have a lower incidence rate than those with severe. Steve can speak to that, but certainly it goes again to the importance of weight loss, diet and exercise, because clearly those with diabetes and pre-diabetes are at much, much higher risk. As you know, last night we spoke about the CDC's finding in this regard, but I think Steve's work is going to be incredibly important.
And Steve, I know you're go ahead, Steve, real quick.
Two things I want to get across on the treatment. We treat everybody with hydroxychloroquine as if we've been doing so for a while. I was very nervous about the effects on the EKG, as you just spoke to, Roman, and I asked Dr. Dobesh, actually, to be my EP cardiologist looking over the EKGs, because it's been 30 years since I've done that. Dave has looked at over 40 of our patients that have received several doses, many doses, and he has found only 2 patients that had changes. In other words, and they had other drugs. Now, more importantly.
All right, hold that thought. We're going to keep it with our medicine cabinet there, but hold that thought. Coming up, New York Governor Cuomo says the country won't be the same after this. Is that what we really want? All right, we're back with Dr. Stephen Smith. This is extremely important news that we're breaking tonight on the Ingram Angle. Dr. Smith's one of the most preeminent infectious disease specialists in the United States. His father was a legend. But Dr. Smith, you pointed out that not a single patient of yours, COVID patient, that has been on the hydroxy regimen has had to be intubated. For people who don't know what intubated means, please explain quickly.
Yeah, so intubated means you're in respiratory failure and you have to be put on a ventilator. Intubation means actually putting the tube down into your trachea and then you're placed on a ventilator for support, respiratory support. We've had, I mentioned, the 20 intubations. Most all of them occurred in the first 2 days. More importantly, no person that has received 5 days or more of the hydroxychloroquine and Zithro combination has been intubated. The chance of that occurring by chance, according to my sons Leon and Hunter, who did some stats for me, are 0.000 something. It's ridiculously low depending on how you look at it. Yeah. It's ridiculously low no matter how you look at it. We worry about selection bias in this situation, but I cannot think of a reason why, if all else is equal, why people that have received 5 days or more, or even 4 days or more, this hydroxychloroquine, Zithro regimen, wouldn't get intubated. In other words, if the regimen didn't work, why would it just be the people that didn't get nearly complete the regimen? Most of the people were in the first 2 days.
Right, Dr. Smith, we're going to have you. We're going to have you back. Yeah, it's a game changer, correct?
It's a game changer. It's absolute game changer. I think these data go to really support the French data. Now you actually have an intra-cohort comparison saying that this regimen works. And I'll get some real statisticians besides my sons to look at that.
Dr. Smith, thank you for all the work. You and I and our medicine cabinet of folks and all your colleagues, thank you.
Laura, I think this is the beginning of the end of the pandemic. I'm very serious.
Oh, wow. This is unbelievable. Well, Dr. Smith, all the naysayers and the people dismissing this, just wait, okay? The good news is coming. Dr. Smith, thank you so much. We'll have you back tomorrow to give us the latest update. Thanks so much.